My name is Johnna, and I am happy to welcome you to Makeup and Mental Health Mondays. So, if you're new, which you gotta be because this is the first time I've ever done this, what this is, I'm going to talk about a different aspect of mental health and also do my makeup. And what I'm going to be talking about today for numero uno, number one, is I'm going to be sharing my personal story. And I'm going to be giving most of the ins and outs. Of course, like I'm going to leave like some tidbits out because like that'd take a hot minute. But I'm going to share my story just so that you have an idea of who I am and why I am confident to speak on the things that I do speak on that you're going to be seeing in upcoming weeks. And if you follow me on any other social medias, you'll see that as well. These are just some things that I'm going to be talking about. And the next 12 weeks, actually, after this, each week I'm going to be talking about a different module of a course that I created. And it's not going to be like to sell you on it. It's going to be because this is important as shit that no one teaches you that everyone should know. And it's stuff that I wish I had known. It's stuff that people who go through the program say that they wish that they had known. And so, considering current times and the state of where we all are, I'm going to bring that to you. And so make sure you ask any questions. I am an open book. Make sure that you comment anything specifically that you would like to know about mental health or otherwise below. I'm going to put the makeup that I'm using in the description as well. And there's also links if you want to follow me on Instagram, which is where I spend most of my time, or go to the website and like learn more about what I do, what I do really quick, just so I won't, take up your time to like get to the end to like wait and see what all that is about. I am a coach. I work with clients who are experiencing, low self-confidence, low self-esteem, body dysmorphia, because that's a lot of where my story originates from. And so it's what I am comfortable and confident on speaking to. And I mean, there's other like things as well that I'm confident speaking on, but that's primarily like what I work with, who I work with, who I can help. I swear a lot, so earmuffs or don't follow if that bothers you. And without further ado, I don't think there's anything much else to say there. But yeah, you'll get to see a little bit more about who I am as we progress. So without any other comments, let's go. Okay, so first of all, I'm sitting on my knees. This is really uncomfortable. My face has been prepped, and what we're going to talk about first of all is just me, who I am, my story. So to take you on back, way on back, that was gross. That was like the dried part. Pretend like that didn't happen. So to take you back, way on back, we might have to end up doing a little swippy swappy because I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this over here. Okay, so to take you back, my story starts, let's see, where should I start? I guess let's just start with like me in high school, or hell, let's take to elementary school. So I never played sports, and when it came to getting a degree, it was something that I always knew I was going to do, but I didn't really know like what I wanted to do, type of a situation. So for elementary school, like high school, I got good grades. Like I just kind of jerked off basically. Didn't really care much about school. Could have been in like the upper like classes, like the AP classes, but I was like, fuck it, like who cares? What does it matter? My parents were cool in the sense that they didn't force me, but at the same time, hindsight is 20/20. Like, why would you not encourage me to do that? Whatever. So, anyway, got to high school, started drinking when I was like 14. That was fun. Going to bars, had a fake ID. got into college because I don't know. I just kind of picked one that accepted me. You know, didn't really get a lot of assistance on like applying and like where to go really, and actually hadn't put much thought into like where I was gonna go while I was in high school. So I just kind of had to go where they would take me. And in college, I mean, it was easy, but then it wasn't easy, and like I didn't take it seriously. I drank like every fucking night, and yeah, I would just go out and like not give a shit. Not basically, like that's literally what I did. And so that was college. Ended up graduating early, which was great, but then I stuck around, still drinking, still partying, still hanging out, and I ended up getting pregnant. So, as someone who has never wanted a child, you know, it wasn't really a great relationship, it wasn't really a bad relationship. Then again, what did I really know? Like, I was a kid. It wasn't even talked about, like, would we keep this or not? It was very much just, like, abortion. So, that happened. And, I drove myself there. Went by myself. Went through that. And then, I had the procedure there. It wasn't the at-home, like, the non-surgical one. It was the surgical one. And then I, was pretty emotionally wrecked. So I moved back in with my parents and lived there for a little bit until I ended up getting a job. And this is like the part of fast forwarding. Like it was not just like, oh, like it's fine. Like a bunch of shit like went into like emotionally, like what the fuck happened. So ended up getting a job. I'm giving you Cliff Notes version. And from there, it was working with a company doing their creative department management. So I would work with the creatives to make sure that they got their projects on time. Like I would coordinate like getting like drafts and stuff like set up. If there was anything that like the client needed an edit on, like I was basically like the middle person. And yeah, like the director, like the account manager, if you will, for all the creatives, which cool. But then I was like, I don't want to be here all my life. So within 3 months, I up and moved to Florida to pursue makeup, which cool, right? But no one really talked to me about like the financials of that, the logistics of that. I just kind of did it, you know. I mean, maybe you don't know, but like that's what happened. I just kind of did it. So, I mean, glad that it happened the way it did, but, you know, looking back, like, ooh, Lord, we could have done some things better. So, anyway, down in Florida, doing makeup, and this looks really uneven. I'm doing makeup, and I was like, you know, it's a lot to have to hustle and, like, try to get clients, and I don't know if this is for me, you know? So I ended up instead waiting tables because I was like, I can't not know like what I'm gonna be making each month or each month. And so from there, I ended up saying, well, screw this. Like I miss my weekends, you know, like I miss knowing how much I'm gonna make. Like this is a little bit better in the sense that, hey, I don't have to hustle for clients, but I do have to hustle for tips. So it's basically the same shit. So I was like, well, fuck this. I ended up getting a job doing marketing and like account management again. So I did that for a while. And it was while I was there, now we're getting like the good part of the story. It was while I was there that I ended up getting into the fitness. There was a woman who had a cubicle beside of mine, and she was always coming in saying that she had done like this cool stuff like burpee box jumps and like rope climbs and just like all these like fun things. And I was like, ooh, I'm interested. So I ended up taking a class with her. And could you even still see me? Let me, hold up. Awesome. Okay, so woman doing all the fun stuff. And I took a class and I was like, this shit's cool. And so I ended up getting a Groupon to try this workout. It was CrossFit, but we don't say CrossFit anymore, but that's like a whole nother thing. So yeah, I ended up getting a Groupon to this CrossFit, and I was dating someone at the time, and they were like, no, like people get certified in a weekend, like we can't do that. And I was like, all right, well, fuck it, like I'm going because there's this Groupon. He was like, all right, cool, there's a Groupon, like we'll go. And I'm like, oh, of course. So we go, and it was cool, but there was another one that was closer. This part's not really relevant, but we took 2 weeks off, 3 months. We took 3 months off to practice and like make ourselves better, so that we could go to like this other one. And we went to the other one, and it was amazing, and it changed my life. And it did so because, I kind of like spoiler alert there, it did so because, you know, all my life, and this is probably part of the story too that like I skipped over a bit, I was very focused on wanting my body to look a certain way, right? Like I wanted to be thin or lean, and I wanted to have muscles, and I very much didn't know how to go about that. I would, you know, eat salads and spend tons of time on the elliptical and try to do the workouts that were in like the fitness magazines, and it was just, you know, frustrating because I was always managing my food and my exercise and like feeling bad if I ate like a cupcake, and, you know, not even like knowing necessarily, because I don't think like organic and non-GMO was really a thing back then. And yeah, so I never saw the changes that I wanted. I threw up my food for a while. I wouldn't say that I was bulimic, but you know what? Maybe by textbook definition, I was. Because I would starve myself, then I would binge eat, then I would throw it up, which, not healthy. Not healthy at all. I do not recommend. We're going to come in close to do the eyeliner. So yeah, I would do that. And yeah, never saw the changes that I wanted in my body. So, let me go off to do this. Wow, what a difference. Also, I think that this first video is just going to be a bunch of me cutting in and out. So, we're back. As I was saying, was binge eating, throwing up, not a good idea, not a good look, don't recommend. If you are struggling or experiencing that, I grabbed the wrong eyeliner, then make sure that you, you know, reach out to someone, because it is a serious thing, and I think that it does impact a lot more people than we realize, and it's serious. So definitely do reach out if you are someone, or if you know someone that is struggling or experiencing that. So I was doing all the things and found the functional fitness, and from there my entire notion of like body image, the entire concept just fucking shifted, because I had always wanted my body to like look a certain way, right? And when I discovered this space, this like magical place where, you know, it wasn't, let's take this woman and put her in a box. It was, there's this literal box that you go to, and you know what's possible there. like, how much weight can you pick up? How much, how fast can you do this workout? And so my mentality shifted from like, I want my body to look a certain way to what can my body do? And that was the game changer for me. And that's what I started focusing on, and that's when my body started to change. The coaches noticed it. I noticed it. I felt better. That's also when I learned more about nutrition and, the fact that you actually have to eat in order to get your body to do all these amazing things because it needs fuel. And, I learned about like GMOs and like organic foods and all these different things that make such a difference that I just didn't know about at the time. And so it was really eye-opening and life-changing for me. And so I went, from, oh, well, I want my body to like look this way to like, what can it do? And I was like, I feel amazing. Like, I want to give this to people. So I started coaching CrossFit. I mean, I say that because it's what it was, but we don't call it CrossFit now. So I started coaching the functional fitness, and it was crazy. Like, it was in the best possible way. I was able to help people reach their goals. I saw the impact it was making on their lives. Like, they inspired me. Like, it was an amazing thing. And it got to a point where I was coaching all the time, and I had clients that were, people who really needed fitness for their health, and just seeing the impact that it made on their lives. Like, I had a client that had Parkinson's, and seeing like the quality of life, the quality of their life improve was just really profound to me. And so I thought that this was really cool. I felt that, hey, like, I found myself. And so from there, I was like, I want to do more. I want to, I quit my office job. Let's get back to that part. So, while I was coaching CrossFit fitness, yeah, I was going to do both, but then there was a time when I was like sitting there. What made me want to do it was because I was like, I'm being wasted just doing these like pay-per-click ads for these companies. Like, who cares? Not saying that that's not important, like, if that's anyone's job listening, but just that I was like, I felt like I was being wasted. Like, that wasn't going to be my greatest contribution. And so I, like I said, went on to pursue the fitness, and I was going to do both. But then there was a day that like we needed an ad launched, and like I wasn't there when they approved some ads, and so the boss was like, "Well, need someone here full time," and I'm like, "All right, let's find my replacement," and that's how I ended up coaching CrossFit full time, and that lasted for years. I coached like at different boxes. I coached, private clients, and that's what I was saying. I saw like all these amazing changes, and like I'm 100% a full-on believer in the power of movement and fitness. I'm not trying to tell you that functional fitness is like the end-all be-all. It's not the gospel. I think different things work for different people, and it's a matter of finding what is fun for you and what works for you, and that's where the magic happens. And so, with that being said, the things that I saw and experienced in my experience with functional fitness were really profound. And so I was like, now that I know myself, I've never had a great relationship with my parents. I'm like, how cool would it be to, get to know them? They're not getting younger. I'm not getting younger. And how cool would it be to also dream a little bigger and help out people who are outside the four walls of a box. because you, in my opinion, it takes a certain level of like commitment and a certain level of, or not even commitment, a certain level of like self-esteem and confidence before you even like step foot inside of one of those doors, because like it can be intimidating, like seeing these people doing all these crazy like moves. That's intimidating as fuck. I get it. I was intimidated as fuck. That's why I spent 3 months trying to get better before I joined the box that ended up changing my life. Like, why did I postpone it like that? I don't know, because I'm scared. Why do we not do anything that's actually going to be good for us? Because we're scared of change. We're committed to the old versions of ourselves. Anywho, did the damn thing, did the CrossFit. Here we are. Want to dream a little bit bigger. So I then decided to pack it up, head them up, move them on out, and I ended up moving back to where I am from with the intention to do more, to impact those who would not ever step foot inside of a CrossFit box. Or, you know, like maybe those that would, but to give those that wouldn't, you know, the opportunity. And so with that, I began life coaching. I took a life coaching certification course from Journey. If you've heard of the Angry Therapist, shout out, shout out. And so, yeah, I did that. And you're going to get to watch me try to do my lips and talk. Or not going to talk. Well, let's see. I don't know. Okay, it's not bad. Okay. Oh, okay. So yeah, shout out to Journey. Did their course, and I'm about to redo it again. Because now they're ICF accredited, and I want more, baby, more. So since graduating with them, I've created a 12-week course. And that's what we're going to be going over for the next 12 weeks. We're going to go over, we're going to spend some time looking into like what each week looks like, because I think that they, and I have found that they are each important, crucial components to, you know, self-discovery and self-acceptance, self-love, setting boundaries, like knowing who you are, and all these things that, again, like no one teaches us. So, yeah, that's how I got here. It's really cool for me because as I was packing up, I noticed that, you know, my intention has always been to like make people or help people feel better about themselves, right? Like it started, I was going to use makeup, like help people feel beautiful. And then from there, I was like, you know, there are really a lot of beautiful, sad people. Like, what the fuck? And so then I was like, you know, it's an internal job. It's not an external job. And everyone says that, but, I mean, how do we actually get there? How do we actually do the internal job? And so that's why I created this course, because I was like, look, here's some fucking action steps, y'all. And this is how you do the damn thing. And it's not the only way, it's not the end all be all, but it definitely is a way, and it definitely helps people. So, in seeing that, I'm like, well, shit, let me bring this to the other people. Let me share it with y'all. Let's talk about this, so that you too can have an idea and know like what routes to go, whether that is, you know, working with a coach, whether that is talking with a therapist, whatever the fuck that may mean for you, you at least have an idea of like, there is hope. Like there is a way, like things can get better, then it's possible. And so, yeah, that's what we're gonna be talking about over the next 12 weeks, which I'm super excited about. Oh my God, did I just pop off screen again? I think the angle is pretty big, so I apologize. I'm just talking to myself for half of this. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be talking about next week. That's a bit about my story. That's why I'm here. So now I work with clients one-on-one and in groups virtually, to help them, in that capacity and in any other capacity that I'm able to help them with. We always have a discovery call where they talk about, you know, what's going on, and I talk about like how I can help them. And if I can't, then I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I think that this might be a better way for you to go. Like, here are some options. And so, you know, just having like the tools to start, because a lot of times starting is the most challenging part. And yeah, I know now I'm like talking a lot more because I'm like not trying to draw my face on. But I hope that this was helpful. Next week we are going to be talking about baseline and possibility, which means we're going to be talking about getting really clear on where you are and really real about what the fuck that looks like before we start trying to get where we want to be. Because a lot of times people set these lofty goals, think about New Year's resolutions, and we don't take a pause, power in the pause. You'll hear me talk about that a lot. We don't take that time to consider, wait, this is where I am, this is what's available to me now, this is the work that it's going to take to get there. And when we don't do that, we just set the goals and we fucking go for it, then we get burnt out because like we don't have any stepping stools to try to get us there. We don't have any stepping stones. So it's like making like a long jump, but you don't like practice those short jumps to get up to that point and like build yourself up. So that's what we're talking about next week. If you thought this was helpful, if you thought this was shit, okay, if you thought it was shitty, comment and let me know, but like don't thumbs down it, maybe request. But yeah, feel free to provide any constructive criticism, any comments, and thank you for watching. I'll see you next week.